Forward.
Order. I call the honourable member for Chifley.
Deputy Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I actually do think we are being tough on the coalition, because I remember those days when, in the lead up to the election, when then opposition leader, now Prime Minister Tony Abbott, he would be everywhere. He'd be holding up this plan. His knuckles would be going white. He'd be showing. I was waiting for him to photobomb people while he was holding the plan, and there he was telling everyone, "We have a plan." And this is the plan. This is the plan that said, here it is. We will generate 1 million new jobs over the next 5 years. We will generate 1 million jobs. We will. And then we started looking at, and people started checking out, well, actually, how will they generate those 1 million jobs? And here's a story. Just happened to come across this one back in January the 2nd of this year. It said, written by David Rowe, broken vows pile up as a coalition's pledge on jobs refuted. And it says, the Abbott government faces further pressure over broken promises, with new analysis showing it will fall well short of its pledge to create 1 million jobs over 5 years. And this is only in a space of less than 6 months, and they're already falling short. And they're saying here, by combining employment data from the ABS with Treasury's job growth forecast in last month's mini-budget, the Parliamentary Library calculated the Australian economy would add about 620,000 jobs over the next 4 years. Even allowing for a 5th year, the figures show the government will still fall well short of 1 million jobs. And so then I noticed another article by David Rowe. He's on a roll. He's on a roll in early January. See what holidays do to you? They give you time to think. And here he goes saying the Abbott government came up with its pledge to create 1 million jobs. Now wait for it. This is how they came up with their pledge, the 1 million. We will create 1 million jobs. A hand on heart indeed, Member Falala. It says here, the Abbott government came up with its pledge to create 1 million jobs in 5 years, solely on the employment growth rate achieved under the former Howard government, a coalition insider says. So there was no math, there was no economics, it was just, well, we'll just pull out the history books and see what they did and we'll just apply it here. And that was the great level of analysis that went to this. Now I admit, I've got here the Diaz version of the master plan. It's got bigger text and a lot more pictures. It's got here the member for Wentworth. He needs no airbrushing. The jaw of Bondi. Look at that square jaw right there. Here he is. It's a good front cover. And you go through it, and we had the small business minister as well talking to us about how good they were going to help small business. And I checked out in here as well that he had, I have to, this is well thumbed. You'd think I'd get straight to this. Talking about small business, lowering taxes and reducing business costs. And what's the first thing they do when they get in? The asset tax write-off, gone. Lost carryback, gone. How does that actually help them? All these things that happen, and now we're getting this move back. We're getting this move that says, well, it's not us that creates the jobs. Like there was an asterisk at the end of that pledge, we will create 1 million jobs. There is none of that. It's business. We're going to help business create those jobs. That's what we meant. You didn't, and I actually remember the Prime Minister going in here saying, well, it's not us, it's you. I mean, you don't understand English as we say it, So they then say it's others that have to create the jobs. It's business. We'll make the environment right. So I actually reckon now that I've got the Diaz plan, I'm just going to make a quick amendment and put here, instead of here we go, real excuses for all Australians. Come on. This is the plan. Because it's always someone else's fault, Deputy Speaker. It's always someone else's fault. It's that we're not going to be doing handouts, or we're standing in the way of Qantas. We want to provide more foreign investment when you look at GrainCorp, what happened there? What happened on GrainCorp? Here they were wanting to get more investment to help their operations, and what happened there? They denied it. Why? Because it wasn't not in the national interest, it wasn't in the Nationals' interest, and that's why they blocked it. So the problem with the other side is there's no consistency in the way that they're making their decisions. They're happy to turn their back in terms of providing the type of help and working with business to make sure jobs stay here, to make sure that employment is not undermined, to not see a slowdown in economic activity, and also to ensure that people will be able to take a paycheck home.
Order. Call the